Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Panduit Product Preview Day featuring our overhead power distribution. We want to thank everyone for attending today and are very excited to showcase our overhead power distribution solution.
Hi, my name is Brian Kelly. I'm the manager of network architecture research for Panduit's R&D department. For the last 9 months, I've been working on this product here, which is the Overhead Power Distribution System, or OPD for short. This system is a mesh of the two existing ways of providing power to the cabinet, the busway system and the traditional WITS method that has been used for many years. This system is UL 857 certified, which is the busway certification standard for UL, but it is not a busway. It's something different. Provides a lot of advantages versus competitive products. It has a much slimmer profile. It's 9 inches from the top here of the extrusion to the bottom of the outlet housing. Competitors' products can be as high as 30 inches, so it provides a much slimmer profile. Each one of these is about 35 pounds. This is a 1/4 demo of the actual product. The actual modules here are actually 8 feet long, but for purposes of a demonstration, we shortened it to about a quarter size to 2 feet. The extrusions here are actually the same as the actual product, but we've just shortened the distance, the length that they are. So one of these, when they're a full foot, 8-foot section, one of these extrusions weighs about 35 pounds. Competitor products, busways, can be up to 100 pounds for an 8-foot section like that. The product is also about 20 to 30% more cost effective than busway systems are as well. This demo unit that we're showing here is, like I said, has just been shortened to 2 feet, but these are usually 8-foot modules that have 4 outlet housings on each. This here is the power feed module. This is where the power comes in from the circuit breaker and then is distributed to the power extension module with breakers, the power distribution module with breakers, and the power distribution without breakers. You might say, why are the circuit breakers here and not there? Electrical regulations require that the circuit breakers be within 10 feet of the power source. So with these being 8 feet long, they have to be on the first section to effectively work. The modules go together with our proprietary connector system. This connector housing is a proprietary connector that utilizes existing electrical connectors used in the automotive industry and electrical industries. These connectors require 150 pounds of pressure to make the connection. One of our engineers came up with this ingenious little device right here that creates a mechanical advantage and reduces it to 10 pounds of pressure, as you'll see here with the drill gun. Makes it very quick and easy to put these modules together. There are 3 different types of OPD power variations. They're all 3-phase power. There's a 208 delta system, a 208Y system, and then a 415Y system. It also comes in a 4-cabinet and an 8-cabinet version. The 8-cabinet version has the 3 modules here. The 4-cabinet version only has this module here with a cap over the top portion. So this is the Smart Zone Overhead Power Distribution Solution. You can learn more at our landing page at www.panduit.com/OPD. Thank you for your time.
Okay, at this time, I am going to turn it over to Rhonda Johnson, our Business Development Manager, and she is going to cover some additional details around our overhead power distribution. And also after she is done with that, then we will open it up for some live Q&A with Rhonda.
All right, good morning, and thanks for joining the webinar this morning. Happy to meet with you and share some information about our exciting new product, our overhead power distribution for data centers. I have a couple of slides, so allow me to show my screen here. Here you can see a view of Panduit's overhead power distribution. This is our installation in our lab. And as Panduit was looking across the data center landscape, looking for ways to expand our presence with data center power, we could see that really when the electricians were putting power into the data center and running it out to the cabinets, they had two choices. They could either use whips, which were labor intensive and often difficult to manage, or they could use a busway system. And these busway systems, they provide some modularity and have some interesting features, but they're very expensive and they're heavy. They use a lot of heavy copper conductors. Often it's more than what you really need. And so we saw an opportunity to enter the market with something a little different. So we wanted to go after something that would be safe, very modular, very easy to install, and provide some significant cost advantages over the incumbent busway solutions. So that's where the idea of our Smart Zone overhead power distribution came from. And here you can see a version. This is the full-size version. I know in the video earlier, Brian was showing a miniaturized version that we use for our demo units. The value proposition here we think is pretty powerful, especially for the electrician and for the data center facility planner. This solution is much easier to deploy than, say, a busway system. It's just a single part number for a full 8-cabinet solution or a 4-cabinet solution. Significantly reduced installation time, as you saw in that video where Brian was able to connect the modules really just with a basic nut driver. And it's lightweight, it's about 35 pounds for each module. Very cost effective. We're targeting 20 to 30% below comparable busway solutions. And then it's also very safe to use. We've designed it with safety in mind from the very beginning. So it's finger safe, all of the connections are shrouded. The ground connects before power, and it's also certified to UL in North America and Canada. So UL 857. Apologize, I was not able to move the menu screen out of the way. So what's a good target application for this product? We're aiming this at the small and medium data centers, especially those that are on premises. This is also good for main distribution frames, intermediate distribution frames, and we're encouraging folks who are working with industrial IT lineups and compute labs to consider OPD, and this can also be good for telecom closets. We have a 4-cabinet option that can be good there. This solution, it pairs very well with Panduit's Gen 5 rack PDUs, especially the 30 amp and the 3-phase versions of these PDUs. This is a great alternative to busways. It's much easier to install, has a lot of cost advantages, and it's also a great alternative to the whips, the custom whips that the electrician would run. Oftentimes they're running junction boxes out to above the cabinets and attaching those junction boxes to, say, a ladder rack or a wire basket. So this gives you a much cleaner design. Here we're showing some pictures from our own internal labs. We've recently installed OPD in one of our computer rooms. We call it our Z closet. So you can see before we had whips coming from above the cabinets up to the ceiling, versus now with the overhead power distribution, you can see that we have this nice clean product that runs overhead, and the whips come out of the cabinets and plug right in. And it fits. We've suspended this from the threaded rod that comes from the ceiling, and it's sitting on some unistrut. And here's a view of our initial offering. So we have 8-cabinet solutions and 4-cabinet solutions, and we've got 6 part numbers. You can see over on the left. We started out our initial offering with a 30 amp offering. When we looked at our sales for PDUs in North America, we saw that about half of them go for 30 amp solutions. So that's where we felt that this would be a great target to meet the most customer needs. The input voltage configurations that we target with this initial offering, they're all 3-phase so that you can get a good amount of power to each rack. We have the 208s, either Y or Delta, and then the 415. Then we also list off here the rack receptacles that the PDU would plug into. So we have the 2 NEMA type connections here, and then also the IEC connection. And these outlets are spaced 600 millimeters. This is true for both the 8 cabinet solution and the 4 cabinet solution. If you'd like to learn more about OPD, I would encourage you to go to the Panduit website, panduit.com. When you get to the website, you can type in the search bar, type OPD, or simply type overhead power, and that will take you to the product landing pages. We also have a landing page specific to OPD. You can get there by typing www.panduit.com/OPD.
Wonderful, Rhonda. Thank you so much for that overview of overhead power distribution. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to our Q&A portion of the webinar. And the good thing is we have quite a few questions for you. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the first question. The specs say the outlets are spaced 600 millimeters apart. Can this be used with cabinets that are wider than 600 millimeters?
The answer is yes, this can be used with cabinets wider. We have put together configurations with 700 millimeter wide cabinets, and the widths that come from the PDUs, those are 3 meters long typically, so 10 feet. So there's typically enough stretch where those PDUs can stretch and reach up to the overhead power distribution outlets. And this is true for 800 millimeter cabinets as well, just depends on the layout a little bit to make sure that you've got enough reach.
Okay, next question. How is the system supported?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this system would be supported very similar to what you would do with, say, a busway or with an overhead pathway, such as a fiber runner or a wire basket, in which you would hang some threaded rod from the ceiling infrastructure, and from that threaded rod you can attach some horizontal supports such as a unistrut or a C-channel. And we typically recommend using a cantilever style as opposed to a trapeze style, because with the cantilever style you're able to slide the overhead power distribution modules right into it. The overhead power distribution comes as a kit, and the kit includes the modules that you would need plus brackets for attaching it and securing it to that C channel or to that unistrut. So those brackets would be attached to the unistrut, and then you would install the OPD and then install brackets to secure it in place.
All right, next question. What's the overall length of the OPD?
Yeah, so the overall length of the OPD, it's I believe 219 inches for the 8 cabinet version, and I believe this comes out to 18.5 feet. And then for the 4 cabinet version, I'll apologize, I don't have it memorized, but it's going to be more closer to around 10 feet. Okay. The information is in the customer drawings that are on our website, or I can follow up to provide the exact numbers.
Yeah, I can definitely follow up with that, Ryan, to all of our attendees today as well. Is OPD designed to handle rows as long as 25 to 50 cabinets?
So OPD scales in increments of 4 or 8. So when it comes to a row that's longer than 8, we recommend installing multiple OPD systems. So for example, if you had 20 cabinets in a row, then you would put in an 8 cabinet system plus another 8 cabinet system, and then add another 4 cabinet system.
Okay. What is the expected launch date for the EMEA region?
At this point, it's launched to North America. We're gaining traction here in North America, and then we look forward to working with the EMEA region to understand their requirements. We understand that there are some different power needs there, so we look forward to adding that onto our roadmap perhaps next year, the year after.
Will the power distribution units be monitored?
For the power distribution units, we would recommend working with our G5 PDUs that have the monitoring capability built into them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you considered 120 volt modules?
We have gotten that question a number of times recently, so it is definitely something that our engineers are evaluating for the future.
Okay. I believe that is our last question. Unless anyone else wants to submit questions, we definitely have some time here. But if you want to submit questions, you are able to in our questions drop-down menu, or as well as the chat menu. I am able to take any other additional questions. Rhonda, is there any last things you want to cover off here before we wrap up?
I think I've covered just about everything that we had on the agenda, and thanks for everyone's time. We do have stock available now for small projects. We'd encourage you to reach out to a Panduit account manager, and we'd love to work with you on an upcoming project.